Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. I am Joe.
I am Caleb.
And today we are going to be reviewing the classic and oh so well-known and oh so beloved game, Chocobo World, the Pocket Station exclusive that if you get a certain version of Final Fantasy VIII on Steam, you are in fact able to play. And because we are gluttons for punishment, we decided that this should be one of the games that we play for the show. By the way, I do want to say thank you to those who helped support the movie Chicken Coop. Everybody out there who helped support it. We shot it last month over a 2-week period, and sorry for the delay on the episode. It wasn't actually the movie because I did beat that game in relatively good time, I think, Chocobo World. Yeah. You can instead blame the wait on this episode on a certain Caleb Schweiss.
I think it's because you didn't want to come down until this weekend.
That was also part of it. So then you can also blame me later after Schweiss delayed it on me delaying it because I didn't want to spend the gas money to come up 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah, because was the plan for us to review this when we did Nude Clan? Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I wanted to do it the same weekend as a Nude Clan episode.
I see.
And I asked you to make concessions so that we could do that. And then today, later, guys, as we're recording this episode, today we are going to sit down and, unless there's an act of God, which happens a lot on this show.
There will be, yeah.
We should actually be able to beat Chocobo Racing today and do an episode on it today as well. So I'm excited about that because that looks like it might be a good game. And we could put some of these bad games behind us. Chocobo World. Schweiss, had you even heard of Chocobo World before?
I had heard of it in a manner of speaking. But no, like when it was coming out and stuff, no way. I had never heard of that. I didn't even know what the Pocket Station was until 2 months ago, probably. That's when I looked into it, and I was like, "Oh, this would have been kind of cool," because it's like a little add-on thing for like older games. So if you remember the Dreamcast's like little memory card thing that you would take out, and it would be like a Tamagotchi kind of deal. It's kind of similar to that. But Sony's version, so it's definitely better. But there's really like nothing on it. And it was only released in Japan. But the funny thing is, the localization for Final Fantasy VIII still has the stuff for Chocobo World in it. Like you could still connect. They like still have the code and all that in there. So like you could have technically played it.
Yeah.
And connected it. So it's kind of a fun little like side thing.
It's kind of like half a game.
Yeah, it's just like a time waste kind of a game, like you got a few minutes, just walk around, find some items for your playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII, level up your Chocobo, because you'll come across things that'll like level up his power in FF8 kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of an interesting thing, but no, I had never really heard of Chocobo World, and it was one that we almost didn't even count until we found that it was on the Steam version of FF8. One of the Steam versions of FF8. The second one I bought, of course.
Not in the remaster. You have to get the non-remastered edition of FF8 on Steam in order to get access to play this game, which you were able to buy.
Yeah,
that kind of surprised me. They made a remaster and then I guess they just leave the other game there.
Yeah, it's weird. It's also weird that they didn't put Chocobo World in the remaster.
Is it?
Kind of. I mean, I had to buy it twice. So
what I had heard is that
I was a little angered out, I guess.
I think what I had read on a forum or something, or maybe someone on Discord had said this, I can't remember. It was that because what this game is you basically collect items in Chocobo World that you can then transfer over and use in Final Fantasy VIII. And I think what they did with the remaster was they just made it more forgiving, and they just let you get items easier from what someone said on a forum. I have no idea if that's true. But yeah, Chocobo World, which is apparently in Japanese called Odekake Chocobo RPG. is a 1999 Pocket Station game. It's compatible only with Final Fantasy VIII, really. The player controls Boko the Chocobo, who embarks on a quest to find Minimog, who's like Minimog is one of the guardian forces in Final Fantasy VIII. It's one of the like little optional ones. And you are assisted by your friends Moomba and Cactar. I'm getting this information from the Wikia page, by the way, and you can probably get that information from the opening. When you go into the game on Steam, it has like everything. It has all the instructions of the game.
Yeah.
It's basically because all you do in the real game is the game just starts and Chocobo's just walking, and you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? There's nothing I can figure out how to do. Unless you actually read the entire manual before heading into the game. So I'll give you the story synopsis here that's in front of me. Boko, Minimog, Moomba, and Cactar are friends with each other. One day, Minimog decided to find a treasure in Scary Mountain and left for it alone. When Minimog failed to return, the three friends decided to rescue Minimog. As Boko led the quest, Moomba went out to search for weapons, while Cactar searched for items. During their quest, Boko saves Minimog and meets a female chocobo called Coco, who gives him a kiss. Coco is kidnapped level 75, is kidnapped by the evil Demon King, whom Boko must defeat to save his girlfriend. And in this extremely interesting story that they've laid out for us, after you defeat the Demon King, your girlfriend Coco just says thanks, bye bye, and then Coco keeps wandering.
Yeah. Boko likes his women like he likes his milk. Coco.
Coco?
Yeah. Chocolate milk, I guess.
What?
I don't know. It was better before.
What the hell? All right.
It's the ending is, I think it's the most anticlimactic ending ever.
You can see clips of it on our Twitch channel, by the way.
Yeah, Air Gaze is close. Air Gaze was like a screen full of text, and then it was over.
Oh, the RPG version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one, she just gives him a kiss and then runs away, and then it's over. He doesn't even get laid. He doesn't get any of that. He just has to go find her.
Bye-bye.
And once you're there, you're level 100. There's really nothing left to do. I don't think there's any other events. So there's not really any beating this game. It's like It's an endless grind for items. So basically how this game works is Chocobo wanders. You can control the Chocobo. There is, and it's just like a black and white blip map, and that's what the game looks like too, by the way. It's like, I don't know, 12 pixels by 12 pixels, all black and white, super minimal graphics. Really, honestly, sometimes really hard to tell what, at least when I first got into the game, I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, what the hell is going on? Why am I fighting all these scarecrows?
It's just like a bunch of like dots just like going past the Chocobo. It took me like a bit of like a double take to figure out that like, oh, that's the ground and the Chocobo. Like, I didn't know if it was like a pre-menu thing. I remember going in for the first time, had no idea what the hell was going on. You can press There's three keys in this game. There's the control button and then the arrows, I guess. So I guess there's 5 keys. So you press the control button or the menu button, and that'll pull up a menu that you like swipe back and forth from, and then you can use control to like select things. One menu is the map itself. Another menu is the move menu. I don't know how to describe that. It has like an arrow with a certain amount of squiggles in it, and you can adjust how many squiggles are on it. And I guess that changes Chocobo's behavior when it comes to his auto movement. There's another, which is like Chocobo's wandering pattern over the map. There's another screen that is event wait, which you can turn on or off depending on if you want the game to play itself or not. And then there's another one that has apparently not your game time, as I just found out today.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a bullshit game time that kept on moving, but apparently it's just the clock. Because we need that in this Chocobo game. We need to know what time it is when we're on the Pocket Station.
Like, how long am I playing this shit? Yeah.
But there is no game time on it. So, or did I text you how long it took? I can't remember if I like went into Steam and figured out how many hours I'd played Chocobo. But that I can't remember if there's another one. I can't remember if there's another menu item there, but basically Chocobo's just wandering around, and on the main menu or on the map, there's a bunch of black dots. Those black dots are events. Those events can either be Moomba or Cactar giving you items or weapons, which are only used in Final Fantasy VIII. So you're just like picking up shit as you're going along. Or it's a fight, and there's like, I don't know, there's like 4 or 5 enemies, different enemy types that you come across. Mostly it's just like skeleton guy, and then as Krenital put earlier, puppy dog face Aramon or something like that. I don't know. It's just like one of the Aramon flying guys, which are a little bit harder than the skeleton guys. And then there's some there's the big boss, and then there's in later levels there's other.
Wait, were those supposed to be skeletons?
Ones. That's how I saw them. What did you see?
I thought they were like happy like fucking scarecrows. So it looked like to me, because they got like the pitchfork, and he's like.
I thought it was like a walking skeleton guy because it had holes in him, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. I only saw the face.
That's how bad the graphics are, by the way. We can't tell what the hell we're looking at.
Yeah, not sure.
And with these fights, by the way, Chocobo has one side that has his health, and then the enemy has their health on the other side. And when they hit each other, there's like a timer that goes down, and it's almost like an active wait, but like the opposite. Active time almost. It's but like when it hits the active time, that's when the character attacks. But you have, it's just automatic, but you can aid in the fight with repeatedly pressing back and forth on the keyboard, just the arrow buttons, as quickly as you possibly can to help speed Chocobo up in its attack. But the entire game will play itself. Yeah. So do you need to do that? That's a question. Schweiss and I both had very different play styles when it came to this game. You definitely need to do that on the final boss, because the final boss is no fucking joke.
Yeah, he's sick.
I really had some wrist problems while playing this game because of how I had to figure out how to, as quickly as possible, press the left and right arrow keys on my keyboard in order to help aid Chocobo in the fight of the Demon King. It's interesting. Most of the time for this game, I got like a list of when the events would happen. They would happen on certain levels. It was basically every 25 levels something would happen, with a couple other more sprinkled in there. Yeah. And I would let the game play itself. I did time out 3 different levels, and it gave me an average time of leveling up every 20 minutes if I just let the game alone. The game doesn't scale in difficulty either, or it does scale in difficulty, but it's like a consistent difficulty level the whole time, so that never changed. It was always about an average of 20 minutes a level, so I would go, okay, well, I can leave this on for 2 hours, and I'll come back and just check the levels that I'm at, and that's what I would do. And Chocobo wandered the West by himself and defeated bad guys by himself, and got defeated and had to heal up, which is automatic. You know, if you get killed or something like that, you then like slowly heal up. If you have active event on, it will or wait off. I mean, it will continue. It just takes a lot longer because it's a lot easier to just come in and press the control button when your guy's passed out and he's healing up. But it will move on. It will continue. I promise. I did find this out for myself. But yeah, this game basically plays itself until the end boss. If you let it, it will take forever. 20 minutes a level, and you don't fight that end boss until level 100. So you can do the math on that, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
So how did you play this?
I played it the right way. I played it like a game, and it took me like 9 hours, 4 minutes, and 34 seconds to plow it. And I was playing straight up, man. I was holding the keys down. I was walking to the items. I was choosing. Oh, yeah,
if you hold the keys down when Chocobo's walking around, he goes faster. So that's important. When you're there, if you're playing the game itself, the game goes faster.
Yeah. If you're doing Joe mode, it doesn't go as fast, but it's also easier.
And you don't have to be there for it.
Yeah,
there's nothing new going on with the game.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you said when you did the FF4 and the FF12 like auto battle shit. There's nothing new to see here. It's
the difference is, or is there much of a difference between that and FF4? I'm not sure, but this one is just playing itself.
Yeah, this one straight up, you don't have to set up anything. It wants to play itself. Yeah. It wants to have a good time solo here. I just played it that way. I would pull up the map. I would kind of like map out where I wanted to go. Sometimes there'd be one that's closer, but there'd be a little cluster of events in one corner, and so I'll run over to those. And basically what you're trying to do is level up to level 100. And the level up system is really similar to like Crisis Core, where it's kind of a chance thing. You have like a Connect 4 thing, but it's really just like Connect 3.
So obnoxious.
So it's a 9-dot
Such
grid.
An asshole too. It's like it always wants to fucking like put the dot where you don't want it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was hoping that when you did like a double connection of 3, because once you get 3 in a row, you get a level up. And I was hoping it would be like Bejeweled or some shit. And like when you get like a double 3, you'll level up twice instead of just once. But sadly,
oh, someone's alarm's going off.
Sadly, that was not the case. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. You could only level up the once, which was lame. I was really excited. Like when I finally got one to land, I was like, "Come on, give me 2, and it's like, "Nah, just 1." So 9 hours is a lot faster than 20 minutes a level, like way faster.
Yeah.
20 minutes a level would be like 30 hours. 33 hours, yeah, 33 hours. And 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm not there for it. I actually played it probably like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hate-filled 2 hours.
9 hours, yeah. And yeah, the tapping the keys back and forth for fighting, it speeds up the active time battle thing, and your number drops to 0, so your Chocobo will attack more frequently when you get that done. So it pays to play the game.
No. Not at all. What the fuck are you talking about?
Look, I'm okay. My hands were covered. I had to put it in like a nice salt bath, a little hand salt bath.
Yeah, just Epsom salt kitchen sink bath.
Yeah. I look down and my hand is like I've got like 3 extra knuckles on the on the 2 fingers I'm using to fucking tap the keys. It's like gnarled and root like. Just fucking ruined hand. I look down and I've got like a claw hand. This is just the fucking 2 fingers.
We should have played this when we played FF8, honestly.
It would have been cool, yeah.
Because then we could have actually gone in and gotten all the items that we had collected in the game after 100 levels of this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and now what? You know, now we're gonna we have all these items, but we're never gonna use them. Like, lame. How lame is that? Extremely lame. And I don't even know. I mean, it's kind of a disservice to the review in a way. I mean, we know what kind of items come out of it. It's like extra usable items in the game, so like potions, I assume, and then also stuff for like your guardian forces, and you level up your Chocobo summon in the game. So it's kind of cool, but I'm not going to play FF8 again to like check the shit, you know.
I might be able to go into Steam and just
check it out.
One of these days, I'll probably replay FF8. I don't know. Probably after like a midlife crisis, I might.
Yeah, play all the games.
Gonna restart it all.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be funny. It's Ultima Final Fantasy presents Ultima Final Fantasy. We just do it again.
Just do it again.
Yeah.
Ultima Final Fantasy remake.
Yeah. But we have to like tie it in somehow where it's like kind of the same, but then like a little different. Like some stuff is off.
Right, this time we're going in chronological order.
So the hardcore fans are like, they're like, well, it's kind of the same, but they did change it. It's an interesting title. They remade it and not necessarily straight on remake, but made it different.
But it's also still a sequel.
Yeah,
to the old podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then some people are arguing that it's not a sequel at all, that it's a straight remake still.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and then people will fight. So that'll be our future.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a weird game. I think honestly, for what it is and like what it was, I think it would have been okay. Like just playing on the side,
for what it is, a bad game.
I don't know.
For what it was, a bad game.
If I was in like middle school or something and I had one of these little pocket stations and I brought it to school, I think it'd be kind of fun
all right.
like plow through some levels, get some items.
That's fair. Here's what it actually is. You're in middle school, you got the rich parents, so you both have the PlayStation and the Pocket Station and FF8 and Chocobo World.
Yeah.
So then what you do is you play FF8 when you're at home, and then when you're at school with the Pocket Station at lunch, you're playing the Chocobo
Yeah,
game
exactly.
in order to level up your stuff in actual FF8.
Yep.
So that's actually how it would have probably worked out.
Yeah, and I think that, considering that, it's kind of a cool idea. As a
standalone?
As a standalone, it's not a good idea to play. And then it's kind of like how we play 14, A lot of people give us a ton of shit for how we play 14 because all we do is the story, basically. And then we'll try to do all the extra dungeons in there, but we're not, like, playing it right.
Yeah, we're not playing it for, like, an hour a day. We're playing it for, like, 6 hours a day for 3 weeks.
And then being done,
and then being done with it.
Yeah, so it's hard for, it's one of those games where we kind of played it the wrong way, but the right way is almost inaccessible for us here in North America. I mean, we could have gotten a fucking, like, Pocket Station.
Oh, the right way
Japanese.
for Chocobo. I was like, what? FF14 is perfectly accessible.
Oh, yeah, no. The Pocket Station and the Japanese PlayStation and the Japanese copy of FF8, hopefully like a localized, so you can read the damn thing. We could have done that, but that's too many hoops, you know what I mean? And like that's what's kind of annoying about the Steam one. I did read online though that they made a Pocket Station app for the PlayStation Vita, which would have been kind of cool to play it that way. But again, it's only cool to play it that way if you're playing Final Fantasy VIII while you're playing Chocobo World. So that scenario would have been perfect, like your little bullshit Tamagotchi thing that you play at lunch, and then you go home and check your shit.
Something we should probably bring up, and maybe we brought it up on the FF8 review, but I don't remember. It's been too long. The idea that FF8 kind of got rid of the Chocobo as we knew it and its function in the Final Fantasy series. It's like FF1 through 7, there'd be or did they have it in FF1? I can't remember. In the Final Fantasy series, you would get the Chocobo, and then you'd be able to ride it across a map for a while. And in FF8, I don't believe that's an option. And so this is kind of like its replacement. Like you have your separate Chocobo game with FF8.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah,
so
that is interesting to think about it that way.
It's an odd idea. That one actually did work out for them. I am remembering like the play online shit for Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah.
That's like another thing where they're like trying to fuck with like adding shit to the game that's like not there and not polished and doesn't help at all.
Yeah. Didn't 10 have that too? It like had an ad for play online, but then they never did anything with it.
I don't remember. It's been too long.
Like on the main menu, it said play online, and I was always like, "Huh, what is that?" and it just wasn't a thing.
You got that internet hard drive thing for the PS2. You give it a try.
Yeah. I think it was just an advertisement for the fact that it was going to be a thing for 11.
And then they just drop it.
Yeah. Either that or they were going to do something with 10.
Because, play online is such a great system, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
for FF11. It's a wonderful, wonderful system.
Yeah, it's about as bad as Square Enix's website. Trying to log into that thing. It's pretty close.
I never have any problems logging into it.
I don't know
I
what
know
it
my
is.
username. I know the email attached to it. I can therefore reset the
Something's
password
up
if I
with mine,
lose it.
man. Something's up.
Well, get ready because we got to get into FF14.
I know.
So
I tried to buy the expansion, but I couldn't fucking log in. And by the time I finally got in, sold out. Now I can buy the pleb edition, but how am I supposed to flex my earnings statements if I don't have a fucking collector's edition of 14?
So
it's bullshit.
This is going to be tough to actually fill an hour, and I don't think we actually will on this episode. I think that's actually going to be impossible.
Yeah, pretty positive of that.
There's nothing to this game outside of what we've talked about. That's pretty much it. It's not a great time, and it's really, when you first jump into it, it's really fucking confusing. Like, I had no idea what was going on. You have to read that entire, how to play guide.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of those old SRPGs, where you would get half of the story or most of the story in a little booklet.
In a booklet with the game. Yeah, exactly. There's just not enough there. Even though they had little cutscenes that were 1 word or 2 word things where Cactar would show up and be like, "Hey, watch out." And then Chocobo will fall down a pit or some shit
Yeah, and the meandering stuff. There is a fishing minigame in here. You don't get to play it, but you did to sit and watch.
Oh
Chocobo
yeah, you
fish.
do sit and watch Chocobo fish. That's right.
He does various activities to regain his health, like watching television, fishing, sleeping, lots of different things that happen in the game. But yeah, there's really not much. There's really not much here, And like I said, the game ends with you beating the final boss, getting a kiss, and then it's all right, now get back out there.
Yeah, get back out there and get some more items.
Yeah. It's it is probably the most anticlimactic ending I've ever seen in a game. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there is riding a chocobo in Final Fantasy VIII. It's just been way too long. Shit. I think I only ever did that stuff once because the only time I tried to do everything in FF8 was the last time we played this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recommend this as a good time. That's it.
Yeah, for the time and for what it was, I think it would have been cool and it's fine enough, but playing it now, if you just play a little bit at a time, I guess that's okay, but dude, the last day I played this, I played for almost 5 hours. I went hard and my hand was screaming in pain. It's so cramped, and it was days afterwards. I didn't recover for days. My hand was just fucked up. And
well, okay, so there's 2 techniques. There's the pointer finger, middle finger technique, which is left and right, really quickly, right? I found a new technique that I had to make a new technique when I was on the final boss. So I have a keyboard that's not attached to my computer. I pull the keyboard and then I move it, I shift it down so that I'm playing it like a guitar and slap. How you slap a bass, by the way, is middle finger thumb. Okay. And so you can go backwards, middle finger thumb really quickly, not on a flat surface like this, but when your hand is at your side.
Yeah.
You're drumming on a desk like this.
Yeah, that's
you
fast.
can go pretty fast, and it doesn't take that much physical effort. So that's what I did for the final boss. Is I took my keyboard and I played it. I slapped a bass for about half of it, and then my hand was still getting cramped up, and then I had to switch over to the ring and or not the ring, but the pointer finger, middle finger technique.
Yeah.
I had to do both because he has a lot of fucking health.
Yeah, he does.
And you're just sitting there just as a guitarist, I never quite built up, the super right hand wrist thing. I do think I guess I had a bit of an advantage in that, but still.
Yeah, I tried your playing the base method, and it did not work for me. So
I don't know how that doesn't like. It's so like. Brrr. I can do this way longer than I can.
I mean, I would do like
this
one hand, one finger on each, so like both my pointer fingers, and then when they would get tired, I would move to my middle finger, and then I'd move to my third finger. And so I'm just like.
It took me 3 or 4 tries to beat the boss. It took you more than that.
It was like 7 tries or more. Yeah, it was a lot. I was getting fucking hammered, and there were a couple times where I almost beat him. I'd have like a really good run, and I would just run out of steam. Like my hands were just like screeching at me. They did not want me to continue on this path. But yeah, those were rough, man. That fight especially. There's a couple like big bastards that you find kind of near the end that are really tough too. And it's annoying because you only get one little dot of XP every single time, no matter what enemy you fight. So if you fight some like elder god, you're still going to get one little pebble for your fucking board.
Yeah, and to be fair, if you play it in auto mode or if you play it manually, you still get the same.
Yeah.
Chocobo dies a lot more if you play it auto mode, but then you're not there to see it. So what do you care?
I mean, that's how I started the game out. I was just kind of like watching it and trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And then eventually I went back and read the description, and I was like, oh, okay, it does make you go faster if you tap the buttons. Because like I was trying that kind of stuff, and I wasn't sure if I was like deceiving myself into believing that it was helpful or if it was actually helpful. And then obviously it turns out it was, in fact, helpful to slap the bass when it comes to this game. But yeah, not that great. Definitely not good as a standalone, I would say. Where are you going to rank it against the other Chocobo games?
It's not a game, so I'm ranking it at the bottom. There's no chance for anything else. So we do have a review from Steven. Corinne, I have no idea why you just sent me that link, by the way.
Chocobo items for FFA, the reason you would commit to doing all 100 levels, and the reason you would want to commit enough time to this to gain rare items for the game, because that's what Cactar is for. Because the items you've been collecting with Cactar can be used in FF8, so you don't have to try so hard and fight rare bosses. So you can just do Chocobo, do it passively, and then just have it for the end game as soon as you log in.
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's what we figured. Like, you get items and it helps you out in the game.
Right.
But I don't know. I'd rather play FF8. I think it's funner.
Should we now? Does FF8 now count as a Chocobo game?
Oh God!
As well,
I think like most of the Final Fantasies count as a Chocobo game.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, we won't go there.
We do have a review from Steven. One person gave us a review. I played Chocobo World back in 2000 or 2001 when it was released on the original PC version of FF8. It had just enough gameplay, and I had so little going on that I was hooked.
Wow.
You must have had nothing going on. Were you like, there's some sort of like hostage situation or something like that, where all you have is the PC version of Final Fantasy VIII. I used to keep the little window running on the corner of the screen while I was doing other things online. The FF8 manual only had basic instructions. For example, it doesn't explain how the weapons work. So it was fun to figure out the details. Was it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I ever successfully transferred any items back to FF8, though. I never completed the game, but if I had been able to carry it around with me with a Pocket Station, I'm sure I would have played a ton more. Thank you for reviewing this one. Such a basic little game, but it was fascinating back then. I truly have fond memories of it. That's what Steven says.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I think I would feel if I had played it back in the day, if I were Japanese and played it back as a kid.
Yeah.
Or had, for some reason had
Bizarro
Japanese.
World Schweiss.
Yeah. I gotta find my Japanese counterpart.
Yeah, exactly.
Final Fantasy Ultima.
He's got 4 kids.
Yeah.
But they're all girls.
Yeah, they're all girls, and their show is not popular it's really popular in Japan and not popular at all in America.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. No one in Japan
considering you would be a Japanese.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah. Shit, yeah, it's a weird game. It has like no legacy except for with Steven.
Yeah.
It has a legacy. It brings back the legacy of like the Tamagotchi and those days. Those are weird days, man. Like such a bizarre thing. It's little like creatures that would die on you all the time.
I never once touched those things.
It's like a fish. They're all fish. They just die after like 2 days. I never really. I was around people that had them, and I played with them a few times. But the only thing I had that was similar was like that for some reason it keeps coming to mind is those Kirby little fucking like animal things. You remember those things? Or no, were they Kirby's? Is that what they're called? Furbies.
Furby, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirby's a Nintendo.
Yeah, that's right. That's
franchise.
right. The Furbies, they were more possessed by the devil than the Tamagotchis, though, because like I had one that, dude, it had been dead for months, and it like turned on a little bit and like spoke to me, and its eye was like
slow eye opening.
yeah, and its eye was like fucking like taking its time coming open, and I was like, what?
Furbies are freaky.
Yeah.
And also, what came first, Gremlins or Furbies?
Probably Gremlins, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they just felt like they wanted to make something creepy.
It was advertised at the same time, and they canonically meaningfully to Gremlins, and then made Gremlins 2, where you had a Furby, and the Furby grew into a Gremlin.
Krinital's dropping some Gremlin knowledge. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear that in the background. What a creepy fucking toy.
Yeah, that's that for some reason that always comes to mind. And then the fucking like glitch eye that just like
The Beanie Babies is the other creepy toy.
I don't know if those are creepy.
Am I just thinking of? I'm thinking of something.
Those are the like little.
Oh, I'm thinking of like a few years ago, maybe like 6 years ago. There were like these dolls with like just the mouths would like they were like these circle mouths that would like sing.
Oh,
It was freaky. I don't remember what those things are called, but
you should have seen the last time Joe was in a shop that had like the talking bass head thing. He was just like up against the wall, like, oh my god, look at its lips.
don't worry, B. No, no, I'm not happy.
I'm terrified.
So yeah, that's the game. That's Chocobo World.
Yeah, shit.
Maybe as an addition to FF8, it would be not terrible, I guess, to put on in the background, to let it autoplay and give you some items, and while you're playing maybe on disc 1 of FF8, and that's not bad. Not a bad time, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't actively play it ever. I wouldn't do what you did.
Yeah. I had to finish it fast, man.
Where you play for 9 hours and get it done in 100. Yeah, or to level 100 is in 9 hours. That's crazy. But yeah, guys, that's it for this episode. I think there's not much else to say. Sorry for such a short episode, but it's a tiny, weird, super simple game.
Yeah.
Horrible graphics. Oh, the music's good. The
Yeah,
music's
music
just
is
like
solid.
FF music, and then has like the Final Fantasy VII.
Little victory.
Yeah, victory thing, which is odd
Yeah.
because it's an FF8 attachment and has Final Fantasy VII music in it.
That is kind of strange, but
But I guess that's fine. Yeah, there you go. Fun stuff. Next time, guys, we are going to be reviewing Chocobo Racing, the original Chocobo Racing. And we will move on from there to, we wanted to clear the Chocobo series out, didn't we?
yeah.
So then we're going on to the brand new game, Chocobo Racing GP.
GP, yep. So I already bought it. I spent a lot of money on it, so I hope
Did you
it's
spend
good.
some GP on it?
It
Drop
felt
some
like
GP. What does GP stand for?
gold points, I'm pretty sure.
Gold points. Wow.
I thought we were supposed to stick with Gil, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? Why doesn't it say Chocobo Racing? Gil.
Oh, Grand Prix.
Grand Prix.
That makes sense. Grand Prix makes sense.
Gold points.
Grand-
I
Grand-
prefer gold points. I think that's
Grand Prix. Gold points.
great people.
Yeah. The sequel is tremendous, people.
Yes. All right, guys. That's going to be it.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Until next time, guys, as always, enjoy the grind.